Here we go. It's Tuesday. You know what day it is. It's Taco Tuesday, Touchdown Tuesday. I don't even know. But we're still living. We're still here. I gotta say, this is not my song. I don't own the copyright to this song. And I just like playing good music, get my day started, get your day started so we can get started on the right foot. So here we go. I'm going to turn this down. All right. Welcome, everybody. Logical Hippie, Light News, you name it, we're here. Holy water, this is what we're doing. We're here all freaking day. Time we need freaking superhero to step up to the plate. So somebody's got to do it. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe it's Batman, maybe it's not, maybe it's me, maybe it's you. It's got to be somebody. Somebody's got to step up. So let's get this thing started like I've been doing the last couple days. Sunday, I did a prayer. I said the prayer to you. Yesterday, we did kind of a 10 seconds moment of silence. I think that what I want to do is just do a quick 10, 15-second prayer to start the show so we can get off on the right foot, get you guys thinking in the right direction. We got to be there for each other and help each other out. So we're going to do that real quick, and then we'll get down to business. So let's take this time, like I tell you every day, start thinking about what you're thankful for today, what you're grateful for. Close your eyes and go into that place in your mind that makes you happy, makes you realize why you're here and why you get up every morning and why you fight, why you take care of your family, why you take care of your friends. You be that positive influence on people in this world because we need that now more than ever. We need you. We need you, the people that are ready to battle this thing and take it to the next level. So we got to get through this, and it's only gonna get better if we can be better together, if we can be positive and send that positive energy wavelength to the rest of the world, to the people that we're thinking about, the people that we care about. And it starts with ourselves. It starts right here. We got to be the positive light, that positive aura, so that when we go out in the world, we're setting the example for everybody else. And it's best to do that when you pray, when you are thinking with gratitude and thankfulness for your own life, for why you're here, being thankful for the situation. It's not a good situation. It's not a fun situation. None of us are having fun right now. 7 billion people in the world, and there's not many people having fun right now. So we got to bring that back. We got to vibrate that energy to bring the world back the goodness that we need, the goodness that we have inside of ourselves. That's our natural thing. That's our childhood. Go back to your childhood and think of all those memories and how great your childhood was. That's because you had no worries, you had no debt, food showed up in front of your face, and all you had to do was eat it. It's a little bit different now being an adult because you're the one that's putting the food on the table. So to your kids, to your family, to the people that you take care of, all those nurses and doctors and everybody else out there. There's not a person that we don't think about right now. There's not a person that's not important. Everybody's important. Lives are important. Lives are at stake, and lives are important. And that's why we're here. That's why we got to get up every day and not give up. We got to bring hope for everybody. So let's get this prayer going because that's how we're going to get this thing off on the right foot. And I'll start it out for you. Like I said, close your eyes, think about that thing that you're thankful for, that thing that you're grateful for, and we'll get this thing rolling. And we're gonna send that message to the universe. Let it send it back. Welcome it with open arms. So today I'm thankful for all that I have, the roof over my head, the food in my fridge, my kids having health, myself having health, my parents, my family, my brother, his family, all my friends, all the people in my life. May they be blessed. May they have good fortune today. May the world take a better turn for the good and help those who really need it right now. Those people that are working their butts off, those people who are stressed out and having a hard time dealing with this. Let's send them blessings. Let's send them good love and hope that they get taken care of too. And that's all I'm going to say. Amen to that, because God bless my family. God bless your family. God bless the world. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna get through this. And it's the only thing we can do. The best thing we can do is be thankful for what we got. That's the best effect that we can have on the world. Like, you want to change the world, how do you do it? You can't do it by just sitting here on YouTube talking to you. I don't know if this is going to change the world. I can try. I can reach so many people a day, and I do my best to reach as many people as possible. You guys got to share what I'm saying. If you believe in what I'm saying, you got to share it with other people. That's the best way to spread the message. Comment on the YouTube, subscribe to my channel, like my page at Holy Light, spelled WHOLLY, capital LIGHT, at Holy Light. That's my light news page. Like that page, subscribe to the YouTube, share my content. That's how we get this message out there. And maybe we can change some lives. Maybe it'll reach the right person to change more lives. But to really have an effect right here, right now, without being able to reach 7 billion people, you can't do it. You can't do it from a YouTube channel. You got to do it from the soul. You got to do it from the spirit. You got to do it from the heart. And you got to care about doing it. You got to want to do it. You got to believe in it. And to believe in it means you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that it's real, and you got to believe that it's possible, because it is. So keep those hopes up. Pray for those that you care about, and pray for everybody else. And that's the single thing that we can do every single day to try to change the globe of 7 billion people. So let's get right to it. Hey, I went to the CDC website today. They don't update anything until noon every day. So as far as what I saw today, the stats were the same on the CDC website. Well, I wasn't satisfied with that, because I like to be up to date every day right away. And so I went to a different website called worldometers.info. And I'm not sure of the accuracy of this website, but their updated information on the C-19 death to case ratio, new deaths in the country, 588 in the US, to 46,274 confirmed cases. So that's still a 2% death to case ratio. And again, I'm going to say it, if I had to say it every day, we have 46,000 confirmed cases. Okay, that doesn't mean everybody's been tested. There could be people walking around untested, not knowing that they have this thing that we don't know about, that we haven't tested these people. So if those people were tested too, if we had 100%, like ideally, utopian thought process here, if we had 100% of people tested, then that death percentage would plummet. So it brings about the big question of this whole thing to me, which is, what is more damaging? Is it more damaging to shut this thing down, or not shut this thing down? Is it more damaging to let this thing run its course and see what the death toll would be based on statistics, basically, because we know that it kills people that are immune compromised and people that are older in age, right? So is it more dangerous to let this thing run its course and see, obviously, like, how many people would kill? That's playing like Russian roulette, right? But we know who's vulnerable to this thing. We know that. That's something we know. And so that way we can make a better decision on what we're doing. So if we let it run its course, is it going to kill 3%, 5%, 8% of confirmed cases based on who's being tested? Those are not tested, those who might have this thing who are not tested, well, maybe it's like 0.1% of those who get the virus end up dying. 0.1. Like, we don't know what that would be because we don't have everybody tested. With that said, is it better to quarantine society, shutting down every business, every industry, factory workers, everybody? Is that better? Putting, in my opinion, This is where I look at the statistics of death to cases and then look at the adverse effects of shutting society down. Does shutting society down cause more strife? Does that cause more problems? And what is the purpose of this whole thing? Are we trying to preserve life? Are we trying to preserve society? What is the end game? What are we trying to get to? Are we trying to save lives? Because if we're trying to save lives, based on the statistics of the virus and who it kills and the rate at which it kills people and not knowing who's tested and who's not, I would side with not quarantining everybody. I would say that people who are concerned need to stay in their homes and they need to work from home or not work, collect unemployment, and have a system set up where a friend sanitizes all of their goods before they deliver them. So their friend gets their goods, sprays them down with a sanitizer, a bacterial virus destroying spray, and then deliver those goods to the person who's compromised, who's concerned with their life. Instead of having like FedEx and UPS and their US mail delivered to them, like the US mail guy, right? He's wearing gloves. How many pieces of mail does the mail guy touch before he delivers your mail to you? Is he practicing proper sanitation? I don't trust that. Do you? If we're really serious about this thing, we should be shutting down the mail too. Or we send our mail, divert our mail to our neighbor, and they're the ones that spray it down with a sanitizer before they deliver it to the people who are concerned. But in that way, the people who aren't concerned, the people who can go back to work, the people who can keep the economy going and keep this thing moving, need to get back to work. Because right now, we're in stagnation between half quarantining everybody because there hasn't been martial law instituted, thank God. Literally, not to use God's name in vain. Thank God we haven't done that yet. But we're not quarantined either. People are still going out and about and people aren't being careful. We're being irresponsible. You can't just tell people to go quarantine themselves for 14 days and expect people to not be irresponsible. Like, we're one of the most irresponsible societies in existence ever in history. We are not responsible for anything. In fact, we're a society that likes to claim victimhood before anything else. We don't take personal responsibility for a lot of things. It's really sad. We go to lawyers, guns, and money instead. So anyway, the government's about to give us each a check, right? They're going to bail out the banks. They're going to bail out the airlines. They're going to bail out the car companies. They're going to bail out corporations again because we're all shut down and everybody's out of work because we're half quarantined. We're not quarantined. We're just half quarantined. And yet here we are in the middle of this political catastrophe, economic catastrophe, social catastrophe, where we've been partisan politics easily for the last 3 years, clearly within the last 3 years, but obviously a lot longer than that. Partisan politics that are driving this country, not because of people like you and me, but because of partisan media and partisan politicians. And the people that sit on one side of the fence and the other, they're going, I want this, and I want this, and I ain't moving until I get what I want. Meanwhile, the people are the fence. The people are stuck in the middle. We got nothing. We're quarantined, half quarantined, struggling, hoarding food, toilet paper, panicking, running out of supplies. People are going to start getting desperate. This isn't like, I'm not telling you, trying to go all doomsday on you. That's not the point of this. The point is, because we got to have hope. We got to believe, but we also have to have an answer. We can't be sitting on partisan politics waiting for an answer. We need an answer now. We needed an answer yesterday. But to wait for these moonbats up in the frigging in Congress, in our government, sitting on partisan politics, trying to push through bills for their own benefits, for themselves, And neglecting the American people is asinine. It's totally asinine, and it's totally unprecedented, and it's completely ridiculous, and it's infuriating because people's lives are threatened right now. And the longer we delay this, the longer the government delays on an answer, a solution, a stimulus, whatever it might be, the worse this is going to get for people, because people don't have patience. People aren't responsible with themselves. They're not responsible with their decisions. They don't take responsibility for their own actions. It's not going to get better the longer this goes on. We need an answer. We need a stimulus package that doesn't include abortion funding and doesn't include big corporate bailouts and assistance and things like that. We need a solution for actual people, the people that these Congress people represent. We need an answer for those people. We need a stimulus for those people. Send the checks. Personally, I don't want the government's money. I'm fine. I'm responsible with my money. I'm responsible with my job. I go to work every day. I work, I collect a paycheck, and I store it, and I don't buy anything that I don't need. I don't buy crap. I don't have television. I don't have things that are in excess. I save a shit ton of money because of what I don't spend it on. Not everybody's like that. So when I get my check, I'm not going to give it to somebody else. Not because I'm selfish, because it's not my money. It's the government's money, which is my money and your money and 350 million people's money. And it's just going to add to our debt, which we owe. It's like borrowing against yourself, but the government's in charge of it. Thank you. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to burn it, because it's not my money. It's our money that's being taxed at an interest rate. We're never going to pay it back, ever. My kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids are going to be stuck with this debt if we don't take care of it. And giving people more money isn't going to solve it. That's the whole catastrophe of this whole thing, is that we're not working, and then we're giving people free money. Well, free ain't free. A very simple, easy example of this is that when somebody, I don't care who it is, says, hey, I have free money for people, and they start handing out free money, sure, I'll go collect it if it's not the government. If there's a person out there like Brad Pitt, let's say, or one of those Hollywood celebrities, or one of the football stars or basketball stars, or these people with millions and millions of dollars, LeBron James, when they start saying, hey, I got free money here, I'll come collect. Great, I'll take a chunk of that. That's free money. But you know damn well that money ain't free. Not to them. That's their money. They earn that money. How'd they earn that money? By you buying tickets and jerseys and shoes and advertising endorsements for the products that you buy. Corporations, the 1%, the 0.01%. So I'm being responsible with my end of things. I'm quarantining myself. I'm having limited contact with people. I don't go to the grocery store and hoard food. I don't buy excess. I don't buy more than I need. I take care of myself. I'm healthy. I drink the right water. I hydrate. I eat the right food. I'm healthy. I eat fruits and vegetables. I take care of myself. I'm responsible. But we're going to take care of everybody else who's not, which is fine. That's what we need. But we're going to rely on a government that can't come to a decision because they want what they want and they want what they want. Meanwhile, we're all suffering. We're going to tank our economy, tank the stock market. The stock market's lower today, as I know, lower from yesterday's stats, lower today than when Trump started his presidency. The economy is tanking. People are suffering. We need an answer. We need a friggin' superhero right now, yesterday. Who is it? Where is it? What is it? It's not hydroxycocaine, whatever the heck it, I always butcher that name. It's not that. So what is it? You know, it's interesting. There was a study done on it where it boosts the alkalinity in your body. It changes the pH of your body to a higher pH. So this virus, I learned, can live in your body at a pH as low as 8.0, between 6.0 and 8.0, which is the same as plants, right? So the virus can live in a pH level as high as 8.0. Well, if that's the case, and I'm drinking 9.5 water, this virus can't live because my body is higher in alkalinity at 9.5 than the 8.0. That's just a fact. That's just basic statistics. Based on the information I read that I've seen, that this hydroxychloroquine will defeat this virus because it will change the alkalinity, the pH in your body to a higher pH, which is above 8.0. Well, I'm already drinking that water at 9.5. So if everybody had this water, they wouldn't have to worry about this damn virus. Then on top of that, I got the sanitizing solution, hypochlorous acid, electrified hypochlorous acid, that kills the virus in its tracks on the spot. Not proven, has not been proven, has not been tested. It's been tested on everything else except for this C-19. And it's been proven on everything else to kill it. So not only do I drink the 9.5, but I also got the sanitizing solution that is an endless supply that lasts for about a week in a bottle. So I can put it into a spray bottle, lasts for a week, and I can spray down my mail and everything else that comes into my house, in my kids' hands, in my hands, and spray on other people and their luggage and whatever it is that they got. And I ain't worried about it. So if everybody had one of these machines, they wouldn't have to worry about the damn virus, and the damn virus would disappear. Now, that's not proven. I can't prove it to you because the studies haven't been done, but it's been done on everything else up to this C-19. Are we going to choose that? Or are we going to choose a drug with side effects? I don't know. Why don't we let the government decide that for us? Because it's worked so well so far. Moving forward, because of our situation, we got to be smarter. We got to be more responsible. Are people going to be able to do that? Are you going to be able to trust that people, other people, your neighbor, let's say, is going to go to the grocery store and buy what they need and not what they want or what they're going to hoard for themselves? Can you trust that? As Dan Bongino points out, it's the prisoner mentality. Let's say a prisoner comes up with the idea that he's going to break out of the jail. He's going to come up with a plan. And he starts telling his buddies, hey, I got a plan. We're going to break out of this jail. And they start developing this plan. Well, when it starts getting down to the nitty-gritty of it and they're starting to try to implement this thing, does the initial leader of this plan trust that everybody else is going to follow suit? Is everybody else going to be on board? What if one person fails? The whole thing falls through. And that's the same thing with society. If we're not all on the same page of buying food as we need, then we don't trust anybody else to do the same thing. And so we'll all go to the store and we hoard. We buy more than we need. See, I went to the store a few weeks ago, right after the NBA decided to postpone their season. I said, that ain't good. That ain't good. And I was supposed to go to work the next day, bright and early. And I told the guy I was going to work for, I said, I hate to tell you this, but I got to go to the store first thing in the morning and buy myself some food. So I did. And you know what I did? I took 2 cans of everything, 2 cans of beets. I don't even like beets, but I know beets are good for me. 2 cans of beets, 2 cans of beans, yellow beans, green beans, red kidney beans, black beans, garbanzo beans, rice, cream of wheat, oatmeal, raisins, non-perishable foods that all you had to do was add water to. I have the magic water machine to add to it. So I bought what I needed. Maybe I bought more than excess, but I was trying not to be crazy. I ended up with maybe 30 cans of canned food, a couple bags of rice, a couple bags of beans. I have enough food to take care of myself smartly. So I don't have to go to the store every week or twice a week to go hoard more food so that everybody else has a chance to get food too. Buying smart. Like I said before, George Washington and his troops lived on flour water. We can live on very little. What do you think vegans and vegetarians live on? I'm not saying you gotta go vegan and vegetarian, but they live on a lot less protein than people think they need. George Washington lived on flour water. I think we'll be all right. I do. I think we'll be all right if we got a bag of rice. Okay? So take it easy at the store for everybody. Buy what you need. You don't need much. It's a responsibility mindset because that's really what it comes down to. We've lived in a society that's been living in excess. We're so lucky. We got more McDonald's every square mile than any place in the globe. Burger Kings and Taco Bell and KFC and all these chain restaurants and all this junk food, all this crap. And remember when gas stations didn't have food in them? It was just a gas station. Do you remember that? I do. It was just a gas station. And now every gas station, I don't even know if there's one that exists that doesn't have food in it and coffee. So we got food and coffee in excess in abundance. We are spoiled rotten, which has made us completely irresponsible with our lives, with our health, and with the environment. This is taking us back to our roots of where we should be, living within our means and being responsible with what we buy and what we throw away and what we save. We throw away more food than we could feed the world with. We're not allowed to. Restaurants aren't allowed to. It's illegal for whatever reason for a restaurant to give away food to the homeless. It's illegal. Why? Legally conservative people that are paying money but can't give it away to people that are hungry. That don't make no sense. We need to start being more responsible. And that's what this is teaching us. My kids ask me all the time, about eating different types of foods and whether they could eat it or whether they can't eat it, especially berries. They find berries outside or things like that. I tell them to be super, super careful not to eat anything outside that they find unless they talk to me first, because you never know what's going to be poisonous. It could be mushrooms, could be berries, it could be a litany of things, right? I mean, you can eat dandelions, dandelion heads, dandelion greens. Dandelion greens before the dandelion flowers, those greens are super high in antioxidants and other nutrients. As soon as they flower, those greens turn bitter and they're not nearly as good for you. Same thing with chaga. Chaga has to be harvested a specific time of year. It can't be chosen any time. You have to harvest it between November and the end of February, early March, while it's cold. Why? Because when the tree starts sapping into that chaga, it becomes poisonous to your body. So if you're harvesting chaga between March and November, you're putting your life at risk. So there's things that are good for you out there, but it's specific when you harvest them. It's specific when you get them. So the other day, it was actually yesterday, I jokingly said to my son that he could eat the raw chicken that we were making. And he laughed at me and he knew I was making a joke. And I said to him, well, Native Americans, they would eat raw meat. They'd kill the buffalo and take a chunk out of that, the heart or whatever, and take a bite out of it. Didn't hurt them. Not that I'm aware of. I could be wrong on that. But from my understanding, because they were well adjusted to their diet and what they were eating, that it didn't bother their stomach. Now, for a long time, we didn't have refrigeration. So how did we cure meat? We salted it. We salted the heck out of it, right? To cure it and preserve it so we could continue to eat it. And we also cooked things. We smoked things to preserve them. It was a chemical change of the food. Well, when you start chemically changing food, you chemically change how your body reacts to it. So if you grow up eating raw vegetables and raw foods, raw meat, which is possible, you can do it, you have to just be adjusted to it. And it makes me think of cats and dogs and animals, our pets, right? And you buy a certain kind of cat food. Well, if you all of a sudden decide that you're going to buy a different brand, same thing, dry cat food or wet cat food, but you decide to change the brand, it's a totally different chemical makeup in that food. And we all know what happens when you change an animal's food, your pet's food. What happens? They get sick. They throw up. More likely to do that. So you have to be careful. You have to slowly implement them into the food, the new food. And why is that? Because their body isn't adjusted to it. The same thing happens with us. We are no different. Same thing happens to plants. If you're changing what you're feeding your plants, it takes a minute for those plants to adjust to it. If all of a sudden, if you go feeding your plants with just regular water, then all of a sudden you decide to boost them with some sort of natural, organic, kind of fertilizing type of stuff, it changes how that plant reacts to it. What do you think vaccines do? What do you think anything does to your body as soon as you shock it with something it's never seen before? What do you think a virus is? How do we develop antibodies to a virus? By having the virus. By actually having it so that the scientists can test it and save it and develop the antidote. But our bodies aren't accustomed to something that's new. It has to adjust, and it takes time for our bodies to adjust. Same thing happens with this water. Because we have a very low acidic diet, low acidic drinks like sodas, when a lot of people that switch over to this water, if they switch over and start drinking 9.5 right away instead of the 8.5, it hurts their stomach. They get a stomach cramping because they're making too drastic of a change of their body's chemistry. And that's what it all comes down to, is chemistry. It's no more complicated than that. I had the fortune of being an ed tech at a specialty school where I helped educate privileged kids, no doubt. It was $9,000 a month for each of these kids to go to this school. And for 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, I helped them with their studies. And it was ranged from 7th grade to seniors in high school. And for me to be able to help these kids, because they had a wide range of curriculums, I had to learn what they were actually doing. So there was kids doing chemistry, and I had knowledge of chemistry when I was in high school, but I wasn't the best student in high school either. So I didn't retain a lot of information. So I read a chemistry book, Chemistry 1.0, from front to back. I learned so much from that book about how things work and why things work and why chemistry is so important to ourselves, our bodies, the earth, everyday life. Our bodies will adjust, but when you put extreme measures on it, it will struggle. If you eat cooked food cooked meat, and all of a sudden you decide to eat raw meat, you're going to get sick. Your stomach's going to reject it. Back when my stepfather, not my stepfather, my ex-father-in-law, he has an all organic farm, raises cows, everything's all natural, right? Uses the manure from the cows to feed his raised beds. He doesn't have raised beds. He actually uses, it's called weedless gardening. And it's a whole nother litany of knowledge that I gained from him. But he told me a long time ago, he said, you know what happens when you start feeding a cow grain instead of its natural environment of what, grass, straw, hay? Like, that's what a cow is supposed to eat, just what's naturally available in the world, just like a wild horse, just like anything else, just like ourselves, where we're supposed to be eating berries and nuts and vegetables and fruits and things like that, just like apes, just like chimpanzees, where we share 99% DNA with. All right? What happens to a cow in a cow's stomach when it starts eating grains instead of the grass? This is what he told me. It changes the acidity level of the cow's stomach to a lower acidity than its normal capacity, meaning it lowers the acidic level of the cow's stomach to an acidic level that is similar to a human stomach. What's that mean? It means that then the E. coli that lives in a cow's stomach is now thriving at a lower pH level that is similar to our stomachs as well. You have chemically altered, by feeding a cow grains instead of grass, you've chemically altered the stomach of the cow to allow E. coli to live. And then we're going to go eat the meat. I'm going to leave you with that one. You guys can think about it, do your thing, whatever. I'm going to get back to my day. I got things to do. And I hope you all have an awesome one. Seriously, keep your hopes up. Pray for yourselves. Pray for everybody else. We're going to get through this. We're going to make shit happen. Have a great day.